Hello everyone, welcome back. Today I'm going to be doing an emergency repotting video of my Maxillaria tenuifolia or coconut orchid. A lot of you have seen this orchid before in bloom. I've made videos on it and I need to repot it today because it's growing very heavily in both directions here and there's a lot of tension on the center of the orchid right here, and I do believe it's going to snap soon. It's just getting so heavy. So I'm going to do an emergency repotting. It's going to be my first repotting video, so please go easy on me. I'll show you what I mean to do. So I've got this basket over here. This is my first time using a basket with a liner like this, but it is taller than the pot that the orchid is currently in. So I'm hoping that the edges of it will support the growths here and it'll just keep growing. I have poked some holes in the bottom just because it didn't have the drainage I wanted. So hopefully now it will drain okay. I'm going to pot it with a mixture of all this stuff here. I've got sphagnum moss, which I'm going to use very sparingly because the orchid right now is potted mostly with sphagnum, and some would say I would be over potting it into a basket this size, so I don't want a lot more sphagnum in there to really just to make it soggy. So I've got this stuff. I've got medium fir bark. This is just a potting mix by Crystal Star Orchids. And I've got some clay beads right here, which I'm going to put right at the bottom because they are really good for drainage. And I took the hanging chain off right here just for the ease of repotting. But when I hang this orchid outside during the summertime, I will put that on. Okay, so I'm going to start by getting the orchid out of its old pot. You can see I cut it down the center right here. I would not recommend that, especially with good expensive pots like this. But this is my favorite orchid and I want to make sure it gets out of there without breaking many roots, especially because its blooming season is coming up in May. So I don't want to bother it very much. But I'm going to start taking it out of there. It is very root bound. This is not easy to do. I think I'm gonna need to cut it again. Hang on 1 second. There we go. Finally. Alright, so when I repotted this last year, it had a root ball near the bottom, like in the center right here, and I was unable to get any of the moss out of it just because the roots, which are very thin, were just wound up so tight. So I don't expect to get too much out of this either. But I'm just going to try to pick piece by piece out of this root ball and see where I get. Okay, as I suspected, I cannot get very much moss out of this. It may look like I can, but there's so many little tiny roots threading their way through the media that I would have to pretty much decimate the root system in order to get the majority of that moss out. Like, I can kind of pick little bits of moss out, but I really don't want to, see, it just rips roots out, ruin this orchid. So, in order to prevent toxicity of the media, I'm going to use even less of the moss than I thought I was going to, just because media that is drier will break down a lot more slowly. So, I'm going to put it in the basket here, and I've put some beads at the bottom that you can see just for ease of putting it in here. And so you can already see that the edges of the basket prop the plant up. So that's excellent. That's what I wanted to happen. All right, so I'm going to take more of these beads and pretty much just dump them in there. I'm going to distribute them around. The clay beads don't hold very much water at all, so they're good to put at the bottom of pots and stuff like that, just to prevent sphagnum or other stuff from clogging up and blocking the drainage holes. So there goes all of my clay pellets, and now I'm going to use the rest of this crystal star orchid mix here. I believe there's a little bit of sphagnum in there, mostly bark. I'm just using up because I have it. And it seems like it's just dust at the bottom there. I'm using a lot of media on this orchid repotting, but that's okay because it's my favorite orchid. And I got this bag of medium fir bark at my orchid meeting on Monday. So thank goodness I got this. And I'm just going to continue putting this bark in here around either side until the orchid is almost completely repotted. Okay, and here we have the repotted Maxillaria tenuifolia. I hope I did a good job, and I hope it blooms again in May. It really seems to like getting repotted, but I don't know. So I filled it up mostly with bark in here. Used pretty much all the bark I had, and I put a little bit of sphagnum as a dressing on top just to add humidity, because in a Maxillaria tenuifolia there are actually roots along the, I guess you call it a rhizome. So just trying to add a little bit of extra humidity there, but it's not going to keep the media sopping wet. The plant is a heck of a lot heavier now, so I have to figure out some way to support that while still allowing it to get a lot of sunlight. Anyways guys, thanks for watching. Thank you for watching my first repotting video. I hope it went well. If you want to see any more videos like this, please subscribe to my channel and give this video a thumbs up. Thanks. Bye.